From the campus of Iowa Western, you're watching your hometown information station, CBTV 17.
Hello and welcome to this week's Council Bluffs News. I'm Joe Thoelke, and it will stand as the pinnacle of the Council Bluffs Park system. Work on the River Edge Park near the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge underway once again. After last year's devastating Missouri River flood halted construction, CBTV's Rebecca Ray takes a look at what is completed and what is still to come.
When the 2011 Missouri River summer flood swept over this land, folks anticipated that plans for the new River's Edge Park sank. But as you look around, they've been busy. Looking at the construction going on at River's Edge Park, you wouldn't know it's been on hold for a year. Just 1 year ago, it was underwater. For over 100 days, floods caused water to surround the Playland Park area. Crews couldn't get past the levee. Today, the Missouri River is on its regular course, meaning plans for the River's Edge Park are back on track.
See, about half of the amphitheater is in place. We have several places we can set stages up. We've kind of cut out of this riparian woodlands that exist here on the Council Bluffs side this little sliver of space for active recreation.
The little sliver, the first of its kind year-long project, 60% complete. Council Bluffs Park and Rec Director Larry Foster says when finished, the River's Edge Park will join Omaha's river landing by the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge.
We share a river, we share a home on the river, and very soon we'll share a recreation space on the river with Omaha.
A recreation space available thanks to generous donations. Iowa West grants cover nearly half the cost. Over 1,000 trees are in this park's future, a green recreational space surrounded by woodlands. Foster says the environment of the space will complement Omaha's urban development.
It's clear that the spaces complement each other. They don't compete with each other.
A partnership Charles Bingle feels the neighboring cities need.
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to really open this side up. You know, Omaha has their side over there, you know, and so we need something over here on this side. It's kind of together, really. I mean, it's split, but it's really one.
Although the park is on the wet side of the levee, officials don't fear floods will damage this investment.
But when the water went down, there was absolutely no damage at all to the site. Everything you see here today was here last year before the flood.
5,000 truckloads of dirt were brought in before the floods, and much of that dirt is still here today. The Missouri flood didn't cause much damage to this site.
We didn't have big erosion. There weren't huge sediments of sand like people thought there would be. The water came up and went down just like a bathtub.
However, after the 2011 floods, Mayor Hannafin asked for a $3 million cut from the initial budget. The savings go towards storm sewers, street and levee repairs. Now phase 1 of the River's Edge Park costs $7.5 million, an investment which keeps city officials confident.
We've taken into consideration where there might be siltation. We have water lines and ways to clean it quickly. We think there's no reason not to go forward with a world-class park here in Council Bluffs and give the residents a chance to really get back to the edge of the river.
For Council Bluffs News, Rebecca Ray.
From Iowa's leading edge, we travel north on the Loess Hills Scenic Byway to the Reese Homestead north of Turner, Iowa. On Sunday, June 3rd, the Monona County Conservation Board unveiled 280 new acres to the public. CBTV photojournalist Dan Johnson and I made the trip north with reporter Rebecca Ray.
At the heart of Monona County, there isn't much urban development. But what Monona lacks in technology, it amplifies in ecology.
We are all connected to the lands of our ancestors. And in a way, we belong to the land.
For over 100 years, the Reese family lives off this land until now.
It's a stunning donation. I mean, you don't see that very often.
The Reese family homestead donates parts of their acreage and sells the rest in an effort to preserve the sanctity of this land their great-grandfather founded so long ago.
None of the next generations of our families wanted to come back here. And so we decided that we wanted some place where the land was really cared for and would be available for people for a long time.
With the addition of 280 acres from the Reese homestead, the Monona County Conservation Board and the DNR now have over 700 acres along this Iowa byway. And the two groups say they have big plans for the new land.
I had this dream of having a place in the hills that overlooked the valley. When a public entity can get their hands on a beautiful piece of property like this, you do what you can to make it happen.
The nature of this environment includes rich soil bluffs and prairie wetlands.
It's a huge addition to what the areas we manage. So it's good for wildlife, but it's also good for the people of Monona County and people of Iowa.
The preservation of this land will help in the event of floods and protect against farming. Future plans include an educational center and a cabin available for rent, all thanks to a family who chose to share their land. In Monona County, I'm Rebecca Ray.
Park officials say within the next few months, hunting will be allowed inside the 713 acres. Cabin rentals will also be available. Future plans for the land involve an education center and a banquet hall. We now take a look at some other great places to travel and spend that time outdoors along the bluffs.
Where's it at now?
We're down here at Lake Manawa at the Fishing Game Club. It's Iowa's free fishing weekend. This will be our 13th annual Trailblazers fishing adventure. We got about 150 kids out here fishing here at the Fishing Game Club. They do fishing, they do games and activities. We have some water safety courses, and most of these kids are all from Council Bluffs or Carter Lake, so they get an opportunity to come out, most of them, and catch their first fish. A lot of these kids today will catch their first fish.
It went pretty good. I caught a fish that was really tiny, but every fish counts. It's just relaxing, and I like to fish. It's normal for me.
Wait. Where's it at now?
Ready? Come on.
It's just basically about having kids come out and fish and win prizes and catch as many fish as they can. You get tackle boxes, bobbers,
fishing rods, bait boxes, and all kinds of fishing tackle. Well, it gives them some responsibility, and then they also want to win a prize. $12.5.
Good job.
We have a prize for the largest fish, the smallest fish, the most caught, and then we have a main prize for the put everybody's name in a hat and draw it, and they get the main prize, which is usually a couple fishing rods.
It's a beautiful place to go.
So I love it.
It's a great place to fish.
Boys catch a lot of fish.
A great place to forget your worries.
Stuff going on at school, drama.
All in the hopes of catching a big one. DeSoto Bend was damaged by the Missouri River flood last year. This summer, the park attracts people to be outside.
I think we all need to stay in touch with nature. I think it keeps us healthy.
Because as you can see, there's a bunch of water around the trees. You can see how high it's been and what the damage has been.
DeSoto Bend is also known for its wildlife.
It's a beautiful wildlife area.
Everyday basis, just driving through, you can see turkeys, deer, birds flying through. Every now and then see a bald eagle.
And in the water,
They get to see the geese and the turtles in the water and the frogs around and all the fish. They like it out here.
the Missouri River borders the park, giving boaters a chance to take advantage of open water when they're not fishing. DeSoto is open from sunrise to sunset every day. Admission fee is $3 per vehicle. Come out this Saturday, June 9th for National Get Outdoors Day. Admission will be free, so bring your kids out for this exciting event. For some, it's an every year donation.
I give blood every year, well, at least once a year, to help save lives.
And if you're wondering whether giving blood is worth your time,
giving blood takes about an hour, and in that hour, you're potentially giving somebody a lifetime. So what's 5 minutes with a quick pinch in your arm when you potentially could be helping someone else to live another day.
This blood drive at Harris Casino is complete with a rock and roll twist, showing appreciation to donors.
You assume when you go to the hospital that if you need blood, it's going to be there. Well, it takes donors to come out and make sure that it's there when people need it.
Almost everyone during their life will know someone who would need a blood transfusion. Donating blood is one way you can help. The 4-day blood drive began on Tuesday, May 29th. The American Red Cross goal, to receive 500 pints of blood every day.
We've had a great turnout. It's been really strong. We're continuing to grow this blood drive and continuing to get support from the Council Bluffs community. So it's been a great day.
To learn how you can donate or volunteer for the Red Cross, visit redcross.org. With your Council Bluffs News, I'm Marie Zeitner.
Coming up after the break, we learn about Grand Tour through Council Bluffs. Next, we meet a foster grandparent at Children's Square.
I'm home, and I love it. I'm home, where I belong.
It's always nice to come home, but many Americans are at risk of foreclosure and losing their homes. Making home affordable from the U.S. government has already helped over 1 million struggling homeowners like these. The sooner you act, the better chance we can help you.
I'm home, where I belong.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Cotton balls. Duct tape. Spoon. Needle. Thread. Scalpel.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
What does the future hold for you?
I can learn.
I can lead.
I can play.
I can grow. Put yourself in a great place. Iowa Western. Classes are forming now in more than 80 areas of study. Learn more, a lot more at IWCC.edu.
I can succeed.
Welcome back to Council Bluffs News. I'm Joe Thoelke. Southwest 8 Senior Services Area Agency on Aging makes life easier for the elderly. And one client shows kids at Children's Square Emergency Shelter that they have something in common. CBTV's Rebecca Ray has the details.
Their lives are decades apart, yet they yearn for the same thing, the love of a family.
I don't really have any biological family left.
And they need somebody, you know, to comfort them.
Companionship creates the bond between 17 and 70.
Grandpa Tom's kind of been here and showed me that a family type of support.
If you ask Tom Miller about his grandkids, he will proudly boast, tell you about their dreams and what they've been up to lately. One thing he may not mention, his grandkids are not legally his.
I always have a love for each and every one of them.
5 days a week, Miller travels by scooter to Children's Square USA's emergency shelter. With no biological grandchildren, it's here, together with his foster grandchildren. He feels at home.
And you've got somebody like Tom who is here day in and day out with those kids, and he is such a calm individual and such a caring individual. He doesn't ever judge them.
Since I'm not with my mom or anything, it's just really hard to find someone who you can always go to. And Grandpa Tom, he's just really cool. You can always go to him and talk to him about anything.
The kids here have spent most of their lives in and out of homes.
He'd always encourage me that things will get better.
And when their worlds turn for the worse, it's the support of their grandpa to get them through.
You just have to have a love for them and know that they need somebody that cares for them.
Miller isn't the only foster grandparent at Children's Square. 88-year-old Arlene Fedor works as a grandmother to infants. For the past 21 years, Fedor sways in her rocking chair with a foster child in her arms nearly every day. If you know a senior looking for new adventure, visit Southwestern Aid Senior Services in Council Bluffs. Coming up next, it's a Victorian tour of grand homes.
Your path to a rewarding career in healthcare begins here at Iowa Western Community College. Iowa Western's new nursing center offers state-of-the-art instruction in nursing, surgical technology, medical training, and emergency medical services.
Iowa Western Community College has a state-of-the-art nursing simulation center.
Human simulators and expert instructors are your keys to success at Iowa Western Community College. Learn how you can get a quality and affordable education in the growing field of healthcare at IWCC.edu.
Get up and get groovy. Kid, what's up with you? Let's get up and play. Do something. Stop slumping like a lump all day. Get on up, come on. Get out the door. Let's shake that booty like never before. Let's run, have fun. Let's jump and groove. Get up and get that body up. Make it move. Get up, and be a player. Get up, get up. Woo! Let's run, have fun. Get up and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day.
Ouch! Sorry. For cool playtime ideas, go online. Just don't stay long.
My name's Eddie Metcalf. I enjoy working in my yard. And, you know, I can't do that anymore because I'm missing most of my lung. They did a CAT scan of my kidneys. No more kidney stones, that's the good news, but we found a spot on your lung. That frankly scared the hell out of me. I hadn't smoked in 22 years. How could this happen to me? He said, well, you know about radon gas. Well, you know, I heard about it. He said, well, the second leading cause of cancer in America is radon. 22,000 people a year die from this. I literally left the doctor's office, got a test kit, put it in the house, and our result was 39.8. The upper limit is 4. We got to get this fixed. That was on a Monday, and on Wednesday, our mitigation system was up and running. Well, I think everybody should have their house tested. We'd never known we'd still be living there. I could get another tumor from it. But right now, it's changing my life.
Welcome back to Council Bluffs News. I'm Joe Thoelke. It's a self-guided tour in Council Bluffs Historical District, giving you the opportunity to learn some of the history of some of the Bluffs' oldest houses. Patricia Murphy joins us today to talk about Preserve Council Bluffs, a Victorian neighborhood stroll. Patricia, thank you for joining us today.
I'm happy to be here.
Tell us about this event.
Well, it's going to be this Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. and we're selling tickets for people to get a sneak preview of the Brigant House, and then we have 4 neighborhoods that are in the city. Oakland Avenue, which is, it's called the Lincoln Fairview Historic District, and then Park and Glen, which is the Fairmont Historic District, and then my neighborhood, which is Willow Bluff 3rd Street, another historic district, and then A Street is not a historic district yet, but it will be soon. And there's historic houses in all of these neighborhoods, and in each neighborhood they'll be able to have refreshment stops as they stroll through the neighborhoods. But and they'll get to see the private backyards of some of Council Bluffs' finest historic homes.
Oh, well, tell us about the Brigant House. Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it. It's was built for a diminutive couple that met while they were doing vaudeville. They met in Coney Island, New York, and Mrs. Brigant's family lived here. She was born in Denver, but her family lived here. The Lewises, they owned a grocery store. They lived down on 4th Street, and they built this little house in 1912, I believe, for the Brigants, who were married in 1905. When they got married, she was 18 years old, he was 35, and she was 42 inches tall. He was 47, and they were perfectly formed little people. I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is what they look like. This was an advertisement from the Woodward Candy Company, who they were spokespeople for. And Woodward Candy was a nationally known candy company centered right here in Council Bluffs. And so their house is an important part of Council Bluffs history, as is the Woodward Candy Company.
So Tell us about the house. I mean, they're shorter than normal. So is the house normal sized? Is what?
The house is it's a regular size ceiling, but the fireplace and the built-ins in the dining room are made for small people. They're lower, where Mrs. Brigant can see herself in the mirror of the buffet. And but they knew that regular sized people were going to be coming to their house, so they had regular sized furniture in there too, as well as their small furniture. There's a little 48-inch bathtub in the bathroom, which is kind of cool. And we're going to restore it back to what it was at the time the Brigants lived there. Preserve Council Bluffs, of which I'm a board member, is an organization that is interested in preserving Council Bluffs history, and we bought the house with a generous donation made by a local, we don't really know, it's an anonymous donation, but we bought the house earlier this year, and we're going to try to restore it, but we need this self-guided tour is going to be a fundraiser for us to be able to restore the Brigant house. So far we have finished the floors, but we need to restore the wallpaper. There's a vestibule on the outside of the house that needs to be torn off that was put there afterwards, and it needs tuck pointing. It needs quite a bit of work, and that's what we're going to, as one of our projects, try and restore the house and maybe have a little museum with Woodward candy and Brigant memorabilia in the house.
So is the neighborhood stroll, are the people allowed to go through these houses, or?
No, they don't get to go through the houses, most of the houses. They will get to go through the Brigant house as a sneak preview. And then Barb Dahlbeck's house, which is a really wonderful house on 3rd Street. Her house is for sale, and it's going to be, they're having an open house during our stroll, so that you'll get to go through that house, and that will really be a treat. Her backyard is outstanding also, and that's 135 3rd Street.
Last question. Why do you think it's important for people to come and see the history of Council Bluffs?
Well, it's important for our children to know where we've come from and the history that we have. I forgot to mention one thing. When they, with this tour, they'll get a 60-page booklet of the 4 historic neighborhoods with pictures of all the houses in it. And Preserve Council Bluffs has recently published that, and it's got a picture of the house and a description of who built it and who lived there. And a lot of important people in Council Bluffs, you'll know where they started and the houses they built. And so with the tour price is $10, and that includes the tour booklet, a sneak preview into the Brigant house, and then refreshment stops in all the neighborhoods. So it'll be quite entertaining and fun for everybody.
All right, well,
hopefully we have a nice day, nice weather.
I hope so too. Well, thank you for coming in. Once again, Victorian Neighborhood Stroll is Sunday, June 10th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The cost is $10 and can be purchased at 517 4th Street, the Brigant House. Up next, more Council Bluffs news.
Hey, Mom.
You know, girls, I used to cheer back in my day. Ready? Okay! Go team!
That was amazing, amazing, amazing. Mom, that was amazing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Carla Borgalo with the Rails West Railroad Museum, and this weekend we have GOSME, the Greater Omaha Society of Model Engineers, coming down to the depot to show off their model trains. They'll be upstairs in the layout running them off of DCC. They're going to hold a swap meet for us and be on hand to answer any questions you might have. The thing they do is they take these great size engines here and work with them on scale to bring them into your house. So they bring all the love of the steam engines or your favorite diesel line and work with it indoors.
Thank you for watching Council Bluffs News. Have a question or comment for us? Email the station at cbtv@iwcc.edu or call us at 712-325-3312. We're always looking for news tips. We close this week's show with a look at Big Lake Park by IWCC student Marie Zettner. See you next week.